This is going to be a reading specifically for twin flames, for the divine feminine, for the divine masculine, to see what is going on. Our moon is in Sagittarius, bringing some really, really positive energies, but it's also sextile Venus, which is in Libra. So when we have Venus in Libra, it is always all about healing our love life and healing our relationships, bringing a lot of positive energy. We're going to talk a little bit about what this means for your twin flame connection and just kind of do some cards to dive in and tap into what is going on. The focus is on energetic cords whenever we have Venus in Libra, and releasing any outdated connections, things in your field, whatever it is. As your frequency is rising, you're going to have to let go of things. So sometimes spiritual awakening is the collapse or release of everything no longer aligned with you that continues to come up as you're moving through your spiritual awakening, your spiritual journey. But let's go ahead and just kind of dive in and do some cards. Make sure you only take what resonates for your specific situation, as this is just a general collective reading that we're going to do today. This is why I always recommend doing the one-on-one sessions with me through my website. I do twin flame readings, and of course I do twin flame coaching. I'm an energy healer. I have a ton of healings, clearings, and activations. I'm always encouraging you to do more energy work. This will help you so much. So if you need me, just go ahead and book a session on my website, sparksofdivinelightshealing.com. I have lots of amazing things coming up. So right now, and I hate to say it, we are literally like, I don't want to say a week, but next Friday is Halloween. So this is powerful as the veil is really, really thin, giving us a lot of clarity about our situation. So we're just going to kind of tap in and see what's going on with you and with your person. Okay, you are enough. The person you're meant to be with will love you the way you are. You don't need to change. Now, we're working on releasing outdated patterns and things kind of going on within us. This is all about, and this really goes with that Venus in Libra, of like also your connection with yourself, loving yourself, taking care of yourself, and how you're showing up for yourself, especially since everything outside of yourself is always a reflection of how you feel about yourself and what's kind of going on within. So we have a lot of energies that are encouraging us to heal, but also know that your twin flame, they love you. They unconditionally love you no matter what. This isn't so we like stay stuck or stay not working on ourselves. It's the opposite. I find that when you come near your twin flame, or when anyone is kind of in this twin flame frequency or energy and kind of near it, you want to better yourself. It's like, it's the effect on ourselves that it has. So just being around your twin flame, you're going to find that usually it brings you to a higher level of awareness, and like it kind of reveals and shows you where you need to keep working on yourself. And you do the same for your twin flame too. Just being around them makes them want to be better. We're in a huge space as we're getting ready. I hate to say this too, we're in the last 2 months of the year for purifying whatever it is, our energy fields, our lives. Like as we're moving up and leveling up, it requires us to, once again, we talked about releasing outdated patterns and connections no longer serving us, but also a huge purification is happening energetically as we continue to move through the final couple months of 2025. Okay, they are the one. You've already met the romantic partner of your life. I think you know, if you're watching this video, like whoever comes to mind, there's that person. And I love to say this for people, there's that one, okay? Like whoever you think about all day long, whoever you want, whoever you love, whoever you're in this connection with, you know that this is the one. However, it's requiring you to do some type of healing. And this is the nature of connection, that usually there are things that come up within the connection or things that it may trigger within yourself so that you can kind of heal and work on certain things too. So you know this is your person. I'm not sure if you're looking for like confirmation or them to confirm the connection. You already know. And I love that word knowing, because we have a lot of psychic knowing, and sometimes we need to trust the knowings that we're picking up on. This is one of the most powerful forms of 5D gifts and abilities, is just us just kind of knowing things. Okay, and I'm not going to go too into this, but we're also in Scorpio season, and like knowing is Scorpio's superpower. So expect that you might be just knowing things a little extra right now, and it's important that you're trusting the knowings. You don't have to know. Sometimes when you try to dissect this stuff and overanalyze it, you're not able to make sense of it. It might be more of a feeling or even an energetic knowing about the connection. Your person knows the connection too. In fact, if any of you guys are struggling in old cycles of running, chasing, struggling with abandonment issues, know this might be because the person doesn't know the connection, and usually that kicks off things like hidden fears or unconscious fears. It just kind of depends. Get at me if you're stuck in some type of cycle like that, or you're just looking for overall healing too. Okay, this is a past life connection, and it's coming up strongly in this reading. You've known this person before. It's a person from a past life, okay? And this is important too. I love this because this is how we have certain soul contracts that are laid out. I believe all of our relationship soul contracts are kind of laid out from past lifetimes. Like the course that we travel in this lifetime has a lot to do with it. If you have a past life contract with someone, it ensures that you will meet them in this lifetime in divine timing. Many of you guys have already met your twin flame and you're playing out some type of contract with them. And it depends on the nature of that contract, what lessons are coming up, what themes are coming up. But they tend to reinforce the lessons and themes that you've been going through in your life prior to meeting this person in some type of way. It just kind of depends. And I find that these connections can really push us towards soul growth. They might be great at sometimes, but they can be very challenging at times too. It just kind of depends on what's going on within you. Okay, so watch out for codependency, and addictive behaviors are affecting your romantic life. And so sometimes people don't get this, and this is my hugest thing about codependency. It's not like an actual addiction, it's the energy of it. And so if you're looking at this person to fill your lack, your holes, energetically, to use them to feel good. If you don't feel good, that's emotional regulation. A lot of toxic relationships are based on that. Like, as long as, you're tiptoeing around this person, if they're in a bad mood, making them feel better, giving them reassurance and things like that too. You're not here to do any of that for this person, and they're not here to do that for you. I find that when we dive deep into the healing and we can learn how to do these things for ourselves, it gives us major tools to have healthier relationships. And so sometimes this is healing the inner child, learning to self-soothe, learning to better regulate your own energy so that you're showing up with better energy into the connection. So if there's some type of energetic imbalance, this is coming up during Venus and Libra. This could be like giving too much and pouring too much into the person or the connection and coming up a little empty yourself. It could be uneven energy exchanges if you feel you're like always the one doing all of the work, right? Or whatever it is. And so this is like overcompensating, undercompensating kind of energy. You're being guided to get really, really good in your own energy within your spiritual awakening. And this helps you a ton with the overall connection. So we have a lot of themes being highlighted with the overall connection. So I just kind of want to do these cards just to kind of see what's going on. In a minute, we're going to go tap in and see what's going on for you and your person specifically, but let's keep going and just kind of see what's going on. Okay, you've had some red flags come up around this connection, okay? Hey, heck, it could be with you or with this person, but you had some stuff coming up. Maybe you haven't had the easiest time with this person, or I love this. A lot of times people see the red flags and then kind of explain them away. Make sure that you are paying attention to things that are coming up in this connection. Oftentimes, it's not always smooth sailing in these type of connections. There's things to be worked out. There's things to be healed, moved through, resolved, whatever it is. In fact, we always have karmic energies that we need to heal or resolve within any type of connection specifically. So it just kind of depends on what's going on. Maybe you've seen things that have come up about this person, or like you've seen things they're working on, or it even could be about your side. Okay, something about this connection. Maybe you're someone that struggles with connection previously, prior to this connection, and you're working on some major root chakra stuff and even sacral chakra stuff coming up. And this is like, you're having a hard time fully trusting this connection. This is a little bit a little bit deeper of like needing to open your heart to this connection. Perhaps you're not always, this could be triggering some type of like hidden anxiety or fear coming up in this connection specifically that you're being guided to work through and to heal. So this is a safe connection, but you might be having a hard time feeling safe in this connection or in any connection. Like it might stir up a lot or trigger a lot through your connections. Now this isn't for everyone, but I'm going to put this message in here because it's coming through very strong. Some of you guys might even have a fearful avoidant attachment style, and until you heal that, you're probably going to be finding that you might have had a challenging time in previous connections. You might have even had your own kind of sabotaging patterns or a lot of relationship work because of this. And this goes down to your attachment style. Our attachment style is how we connect with anyone, like literally, and it's going to tell us a lot about that. Now, the thing is a lot of times we need to dive into healing that attachment style, especially if it's unhealthy in some type of way. So whatever it is, even if it's not that for everyone, this connection is triggering fear and like a lot of waves of, it could be deep emotions or feelings or like over worry, stress. Okay, some of this is connected to past partner. This could be one person or it could be multiple partners that you had. It's time to clear your energy from previous relationships and connections. There's something still there, which fits our energetic theme of today of cords. And so I love to describe it as like a tapestry, a web of all of the lives that we've touched, everyone we learned with. And when we've had a romantic connection with someone, especially if we've been intimate with them, it goes a lot deeper, right, with that energy cord. And if you've spent a lot of time with someone, let's just say you had a really lengthy relationship or you were really deep with them or you spent a lot of time with them, these cords are going to be a lot stronger. And so sometimes we might have let go of old connections as the universe is trying to help us to clear a lot of old energies, old connections, and things that are no longer resonating with our new frequency. Sometimes these things remain. And so a lot of times if you find yourself, reflecting on previous connections, because that's what we're talking about, previous relationships, or thinking back, or your twin flame is, acting out or triggering something familiar from a previous connection. And like, I love connections because a lot of people think, they're having problems in their life and with themselves, and they think the new relationship is going to solve everything, and they're going to bring those same problems into the new connection. So this is like, if you have stuff you still need to resolve, it might be coming up with this connection that you're currently in or you're currently trying to navigate that is very, very, very familiar. And I feel that if this resonates, if this is happening for you, you're having the same kind of things come up. It's all about how you're choosing to respond with this too. So there's something going on energetically where you're being guided to clear your energy. Everyone should be anyways, right? Like literally. So maybe doing some type of cord cutting would be ideal for you, especially if you still have these connections very close to you. Like a lot of people had just gotten out of a relationship and this new one pops up, or had, still maybe had some type of stuff going on, dealings with the karmics, or they're still in your life, or you still have things to resolve with the karmics. I find this can be very, very common too, okay, when navigating these type of connections. But this goes deeper. We're going to go a layer deeper because your connections actually come from your upbringing. And sorry, my cat's like, okay, your connections go a little bit deeper to your family stuff too. So maybe something going on the parents level too, where we don't try to, but we literally play out a familiar dynamic oftentimes where our relationship template comes from our childhood and our family and things like that too. So some of you guys have been unconsciously still playing out inner child patterns in your adult relationships, urging you to heal your inner child. And until we heal that, we're kind of recycling some of the same experiences, patterns, partners, whatever it is that we're trying to resolve. So we always think like we're on earth, we're doing what we're doing, but oftentimes there's things that our soul is trying to help us to resolve energetically, especially if we have old wounds still playing out in our field or whatever it is. Okay. So I want to do these cards a little bit different. I want to see, number one, we'll start with what is going on for you, and then we're going to draw a couple and kind of see what is going on for your person, okay? So let's see what is going on for you. We have the third eye chakra and heart chakra coming up. Okay, maybe you're going through a spiritual awakening. Welcome to planet Earth during this time. Or perhaps you're really, really working with your third eye energies, opening your third eye, activating your third eye, or really, really tapping into your new gifts and abilities and getting a lot through. This is like seeing a lot, okay? You might be seeing your situation from new eyes, so to speak, seeing many layers of it. And as you're healing, you're going to start to see it in a more positive light. And that's why I love Sagittarius energy. I'm a little partial because my mom was a Sagittarius. So I always joke around with that, but okay, so we're also in this Sagittarius moon energy. Now, it's meant to be like very optimistic energy, but it's also seeing that higher perspective and seeing things with your third eye. And so like this could be a lot of things coming through that when you were currently going through certain legends, you didn't see it all that way. And suddenly you're having a lot of higher view come through, okay? Working with your third eye energy, this makes you psychic. It helps you to activate those oracle gifts and to like see things just totally different. Okay, your heart chakra, we talked about you're having a hard time, whoever's watching this video, opening your heart fully. You might think that you are, but you're a little like, we talked about the hesitation, the fear, like, you know, you have a hard time when people get too close to you, okay? And this could come down to just how you connect with people and needing to heal that more, your childhood, we talked about all that. Okay, so you have a really, really hard time letting this person in fully. You know what? They might get really close to you and it might trigger your own runner pattern. You might, you might be having your own distancing techniques. It just kind of depends on what's going on here. So working with your heart chakra and opening up more is going to help you with more harmony in your relationships. And I think that's what you want. So some people have an internal, I don't want to call it battle, but call it a battle, right? Internal struggle between really wanting love and wanting connection. In fact, a lot of you guys have let that rule your experience, okay? You've been like making relationships a lot of your focus. We talked about, not being codependent because you've been like really focusing on your relationships and love. However, you have your own kind of resistance to that. And maybe when you're in it, this is where the sabotaging patterns and blocks come up or whatever it is, okay? So you want and you crave connection, but you might have a little bit of your own avoidance patterns that come up that you're working on. So we're going to see what's going on with your person. This is the 3D mask. This is like the mask that you wear. Your person may have a hard time also letting you in a different way. You might find that when you try to go really, really deep with them, ego patterns of resistance come up, and it's like whether this person's going avoiding, getting dismissive when you try to go there. There's just something there where they're still not fully letting you in, but this is a little bit different with your energy that we're tapping into. And theirs is more of the ego, and this could be for many reasons, okay? And how you see them and how they want you to see them and things like that too. There's some type of, and I hate to say this, they're not fully letting you in, and they might not even be going that deep with you about certain issues. You might be like asking them about something and they might be very invasive and not going there and not giving you answers. And don't take this the wrong way, but I'm going to put this in the reading. For some, they might not even be honest with you about something. This won't be for everyone. Mostly what I'm picking up on is like ego blocks, okay? Programming. So this person is actually happy with the connection. This is a very, very positive message coming through. They're very, very happy with the connection, okay? They do want to be with you. Perhaps when they're getting close, your person, they're having a little bit of ego resistance come up, okay? This could be negative thoughts and blocks or whatever's going on in their mindset, we will say. There's a very positive healing energy in this connection. One of my faves, right? There's a very healing energy within this connection. Obviously, there's a very divine energy guiding it. It's encouraging you to heal, and it might even be serving up what you need during this time, which everyone doesn't like, but it's helping both of you to heal something. This person has a hard time with their throat chakra. So they're having a hard time kind of finding their voice, speaking up, communicating, letting you in a little bit deeper. They're working through some type of throat chakra stuff, throat chakra blocks. Remember, if you're needing a one-on-one call, just book it on my website. You can do them as often as you need them to, okay? You can do anything in my shop all the time anyways. Okay, so we're gonna keep going. Okay, so spiritual awakening. This is a really huge transformative year for you. Perhaps you've been through a lot this year. It could be like things are getting shaken up, right? It's like you're getting shaken awake. There's still things that you need to shift in your own situation that are affecting the overall connection and stuff like that. So pay attention as you're being guided by through what, okay? Like personal energy shifts, you know, you can get at me if you're needing help with the process, right? But pay attention to what you're needing to shift still. You're needing to take responsibility for your energy and some of your own patterns that you're working through. And so when we have patterns that we need to work on, oftentimes it might even trigger the other person or trigger some of their patterns. So once again, you're getting really, really good crystal clear vision of the situation, of what's going on. Trust that third eye energy. All right, so this isn't for everyone, but I work with people at all levels. Everyone's gonna be watching this, right? For some of you guys, if you haven't had like communication, we have Page of Cups, which is really, really positive for communication coming in. It could be even apology, telling you how they feel, really opening up to you. Some of you guys are already in this connection, okay? And this could be bringing some more positive energy into it and maybe even getting romantic. So if you felt like things are like not moving, stagnant, bringing that positive energy into it. Okay, we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So there is a block here. Now this is for some of you guys have like completely given up on the situation. You might have even been sabotaging it and not seeing it or not getting to that level of honesty about what was going on. I see all different scenarios with that. So some of you guys have like literally, I'm done with this connection. I've given up on this person. You've been putting in a lot of hard work, but you're not getting the results that you want. Things might not be going the way you wanted. There's some type of block here. And when we have this card upright, because I love it, it's literally like tending to those manifestations, planting those seeds. It's my gardening card, right? It's literally tending to those manifestations and like putting in that hard work, continuing to put in that hard work. Perhaps, and when we say that giving up energy, it could be on your person, and obvious for some. I see a lot of people go into that pattern, but for some, it's like literally giving up on doing that self-work, okay? Or in some of you guys, this could even carry over into the relationships. Like you need to continue to do the work while together, or the relationships fall apart too, okay? So just know that. Continue to put in the work. For some, this might be having not have enough faith in the situation, because we had that hope card, like to maintain that, okay? Maintain that spiritual energy, that spiritual frequency, keep the momentum going. And so we have the Two of Wands, and this is always kind of those two paths going on. For some, this could indicate your path and the person's path, and feeling, you know, they're very parallel. You're always living parallel lives. I try to explain this. Literally parallel realities, parallel lives. But for this card, this is like kind of, it could be like, feel like you're in between both worlds right now. We have not fully anchored into where we're going, it's obvious, and we're done with the old. It's no longer resonating. And so this can be really, really crazy, because a lot of the planet is playing out these lower patterns and karmic patterns, and they're comfortable in the 3D, and your soul might be evolving and outgrowing all of that, and you're not fully there yet. This is indicating like you're in a season of hard work. It could be the year. You're in a space where the universe is encouraging you to continue to do some type of self-work, and you might even feel like this is really hard work on yourself. Okay, 10 of Swords. And this is another block because this is upright. Okay, you've been through the worst of it, but you're healing from some type of situation. You might have been through some type of betrayal trauma, hardship. This is like all of it. And when we have this card upright, it's still there, but it's like the cycle is over. And because it's in reverse, it's almost like you might be playing out the same cycle with your twin flame. Now, I try to explain to people why this might happen, because when you have certain patterns and behaviors, they can contribute to playing out a cycle. And so this might happen on either side. Like when there are patterns that come up, you might be helping your person, or they're helping you to break out of certain patterns and lower behaviors, so they can be playing out a cycle. So pay attention to how things are going or have gone with this person and the cycle, because oftentimes I describe it as you might even do, hopefully, multiple cycles with this person. This is not meant to be a negative terms. For some of you guys, these can turn into very karmic cycles, and that's negative. But you might actually come together with this person to play out many cycles, hopefully, in this lifetime. Now, these are meant to be positive cycles where you learn with the person, right? And you're around each other and you're with the person. This can be a very positive thing. But I find some flames can get stuck in negative cycles because karmic patterns are coming up and sabotaging the connection on either side. Just kind of depends. And so you want to get out of that if things are not going your way. Another cycle, another chance. So you want to kind of get it right at a certain point. I would hope that there will be enough healing and growth so it gets better and like the stuff isn't coming up. So there's something kind of going on, and it might be triggering a lot of energies, even upright. This is like, for some people, this is not all unicorns and rainbows. This is like dark night of the soul, like entire core of you awakening and assessing things and like revisiting things and healing things. It's awakening energy happening. So with this card, and I'm going to bring it back out, it's indicating you still have a lot of open wounds that are unhealed. Now, the thing with twin flame is they tend to reopen some of these wounds if they're still there in your energy field. So you might have been fine walking around with all those daggers in your back, and you know, your twin flame, as they pull out each one being triggered to the surface, we always think it's them causing the wound because it's very painful. When it's reopened, it comes up, but they're actually trying to help you out of it. And old stuff is being re-triggered, which usually can be very painful energy as you're revisiting old unhealed trauma and karmic wounds and things like that. So our first tendency is to blame the person triggering them, when in reality, you've been holding all of that stuff. And it's only being triggered to the surface is because you're trying to merge together and union together, and you cannot bring all that stuff with you. You cannot bring all that unhealed baggage. It has to come up. It has to go. So you're someone that, okay, and this is my empath energy, like perhaps you've been helping everyone else, but you have these 10 swords and daggers in your own back, and you've had your own problems, but you've been really fixated on other people. That's what codependency is, and it's coming up big time in this reading. It's like you're bleeding out, but you're still trying to help the people around you with like smaller cuts, okay? So you've got this energy of like, you still have a lot of wounds that you're trying to heal. You might be so focused on trying to heal your twin flame or other people or what everyone else is doing, and you're needing to really go back and look at yourself and your own karmic wounds or hurts or things you were unable to heal at this point, because this is like a lot of inner child stuff coming up. Guaranteed a lot of those wounds are from this reading, previous connection and even inner child. So you're being guided to tend to whatever has come up from this connection specifically, especially if old wounds are coming up. Now, a lot of those wounds are reopened. A lot of people may not get separation, but I feel when you're not getting on, that's how it ends up. And that you can't be around the person that's triggering these things all of the time because it's painful energy. So if in separation, now not everyone is, but some of you guys might be navigating that, it's so you can heal those wounds, okay? That's about it for today. Have a beautiful day. If you guys do need me, just go ahead and book me on my website, sparksofdivinelighthealing.com.